It's got cute bunnies, it's got cute chickens, it's got crazy stories. Molang's got it all, man. Molang is a Korean animated kids show about a lovable bunny named Molang and Molang's friend who's a little chicken named Pew Pew. Honestly, kind of sounds like a gun, like Pew Pew. Anyway, together they go on bite-sized adventures and get into all sorts of crazy antics. And there's many a reason to love this show, and today I'm going to tell you why. First off, the intro is so good. It's so catchy and cute and gets stuck in your head, but not in an annoying way. Just look at it. Molang and Pew Pew got mad dance floor moves. Also, they keep it short and sweet. It's only like 5 or so seconds. So that's also nice. So I took a look at the official Molang fandom wiki page to get a little more info on this lovable marshmallow with legs, and I was pretty intrigued by what I found. Apparently the name Molang comes from Malang. I'm probably saying this wrong, but it means squeezy, soft, and fluffy in Korean. So it's pretty accurate. But what is Molang's personality though? Can't argue with that. Now let's see what's on Pew Pew's wiki page. It says here that they usually concentrate on doing things the right way, and if things get out of hand, they easily become unstable and become a spiky ball flinging around the room. And they're not wrong, Pew Pew does. If someone goes wrong, he just becomes a spikable from Bloons TD6. But is there anything else we should know about Pew Pew? But Molang and Pew Pew are great, and they are even greater friends. Each episode follows a pretty simple plot, since each of them are named the blank, and the blank is just a noun. So like, the dog, the firefighters, the corpse, the friendly rugby game. Yes, that's one of the episodes. I just gotta say that even though the general idea of the episode seems kind of, ordinary, they really make it enjoyable. Take episode 35, The Hotel, for example. A hotel is a normal, everyday thing that we don't always see as super unique, but Molang makes something as simple as a hotel as exciting as Woodstock 99. In this episode, Molang and Pew Pew take over a friend's hotel while they are on vacation. And while Molang and Pew Pew are running the hotel, a hotel inspector comes to inspect the hotel. Wait, are hotel inspectors a thing? Are they just people who go around and bunk at hotels and rate how good they are? Not gonna lie, that sounds like a banger job. Unless you land at the Overlook Hotel and then you gotta bunk with crackhead Shakespeare and his screeching banshee. The Shining aside, when the inspector is testing out the room service, we can see that there are multiple buttons you can press to tell Molang and Pew Pew what you'd like. And you got your normal amenities, like some food or a drink, or if you need a hair dryer, and then you got cactus. A cactus? You can just have room service bring you a cactus? Okay, kind of odd, but I guess if you need a succulent really bad, it's whatever. And then we got camel. You could just have room service bring you a camel. Why in the hell would you ever need a camel brought to you in a hotel? If my man's really needs transportation that bad, he can just get an Uber. And a fish? A fish? And it's not like a food fish, it's a pet fish. You can also get that? What? The hotel inspector be lonely if he's resorting to have a flounder as a companion. That's all I'm saying. And what even is this one? Eiffel Tower snow globe? The fuck? And a penguin? I sure hope this isn't an actual penguin and is like Happy Feet or some shit, because penguins ain't stuff you just get at hotels. This ain't the Ritz, okay? Room service be cracked as hell in this hotel. That's all I'm saying. Got everything from food to a literal penguin. And you know what Molang and Pew Pew do when the inspector asks for all these things? They get them. They get every single one. Like the absolute 5-star customer service representatives they are. And after getting the inspector everything on the room service list, the inspector gives them a 4 out of 4 hearts. And damn he better, because Molang and Pew Pew just brought him half of an encyclopedia worth of stuff. So another episode that really stood out was episode 22, The Cowboy. In this episode, Molang and Pew Pew go to a ranch and plan on riding some horses. But riding a horse is no easy feat, and the horse they choose is not an easy one to break, and is quite testy. Molang and Pew Pew try various tactics to ride the horse, like hanging him with a noose and appealing to his gluttonous tendencies. And after these methods don't work, Molang loads a carrot into a bow and prepares to draw the horse closer with it. Unfortunately, Molang misses the horse with the carrot and headshots a sheep instead. And this sheep is not happy about being headshot with a vegetable, I'll tell you what. And in a blind rage, the sheep just start chaos. The farm animals just start to rampage around the farm. Innocents were trampled, cities were burned, and empires fell to the unbridled rage of the farm animals. Just kidding, it's not that bad. It is bad though. There isn't much Molang can do to stop the chaos, and Molang pulls out their harmonica and plays some blues to lament the situation. The animals become so enthralled with Molang's rendition of Jailhouse Blues that they all stop the violence and just listen to Molang play. And the episode ends with all the animals listening to Molang and friends play some banger country tunes. You would have never expected that, you know? It's like, oh, the cowboy. Oh, I bet they're gonna ride horses and exact vengeance upon people. But nah, Molang be headshotting cattle with carrots. It's just chaos, you know? And episode 25, the car, kind of also stood out to me, but for a stupid reason. Molang gets stuck in a car while going through a car wash, and it just reminded me of that one Final Destination scene. That's it. That's literally it. That's all I have to say about the episode. I just imagine Molang in a Final Destination scene, and I feel like I have committed a large bad. But by far, probably the most nutty episode that I've seen is episode 40 called The Fireman. And Molang and Pew Pew are invited to a costume party, and so they dress up as firemen because all their other costumes just don't match. And so they dress up as firemen, and as they are walking to the party, they get mistaken for actual firemen, and a neighbor asks them to get their cat out of a tree. And Molang and Pew Pew do, you know? No harm in that, you know, just getting the neighbor's cat out of a tree. But then another neighbor spots them and asks them for help to get into their own house, since they're locked out. And Molang and Pew Pew just still act as firemen and try to help. Like, they're keeping up this facade, you know? And I'm pretty sure impersonating a fireman is, you know, illegal and very stupid as it is. But what Molang and Pew Pew do to help is even stupider, though. They uproot an entire tree and prepare to battering ram the door like it was the siege of Minas Tirith, okay? Like, huh? What? You just decide to battering ram the door instead of like, oh, I don't know, trying the back door or lockpicking a window, breaking a window, you know, something like that, instead of just sieging the house. But luckily, another neighbor bunny comes in with the keys for the house and unlocks it. But the craziness doesn't stop there. So far, only neighbors have mistaken Molang and Pew Pew for actual firemen, but a real fireman mistakes them for fellow firemen and asks them for their help. And the fireman asks them to help return a giraffe to the zoo. Okay. Now, I don't claim to be no knowledge expert, alright? But I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think firemen don't capture escaped giraffes. I think that's like animal control's job, you know? But hey, I'm just spewing BS, that's all I'm saying. And of course, Molang and Pew Pew help return the giraffe, but it's not to a zoo, it's to a circus, but at least the giraffe is returned. I guess Molang and Pew Pew impersonated someone of the law and returned a giraffe to the circus without any problems. So, yeah, okay. Episode 37, the football player, is also pretty crazy. Molang and Pew Pew want to get a picture of a famous soccer player, but they just can't seem to get one, so they do the reasonable thing and go after him like the paparazzi. They legit chase him on their moped and in a raft across a lake, and then they follow him into his private plane and follow him while he's skydiving, bro. Still trying to snap one. Molang and Pew Pew really want that photo for real, and eventually they get it because they save the soccer player's life while skydiving, but it's like, damn, bro, like, ain't got no respect for personal space. This bunny right here has a bubble. Respect the bubble. This episode should have honestly been called Paparazzi. Would have fit more. There's also an episode called A Friendly Rugby Game, which is kind of funny because they gotta specify that it's a friendly game since it's rugby. Those are some of the more crazier episodes, but a lot of them are kind of just chill and follow kind of a simple plot line, but they still make it interesting and engaging because it's Molang and Pew Pew. They're such likable and interesting characters that it can still keep your attention even if the plot and the overall theme of the episode is pretty ordinary. But more on Molang and Pew Pew as characters though. Molang is just an upbeat, fluffy bunny that always sees the bright side in things. Molang may be a little slower and bigger than other animals, but they're always able to come up with a plan when most needed. And for Pew Pew, just like the wiki said, Pew Pew likes things to go their way, and when they don't, Pew Pew turns into a spiky ball of death. And he bounces around like a 5th grader who dual snorted crushed up Smarties. He just goes absolutely nuts. But luckily, Molang is always there to comfort Pew Pew and calm them down. And Pew Pew has a harder time looking at the bright side of things, but tries their best to make the most of every situation. Pew Pew is also more of a realist than Molang, thinks about things more logically than Molang does. And although these two are very different, Molang and Pew Pew, they couldn't be closer, and their differences complement each other perfectly. And a lot of times they both just laugh about whatever crazy thing just happened to them. One time they legit both got eaten by a carnivorous plant and spat out. And they just both look at each other and giggle. Like it says right here, look at the subtitles. Get spit out, land up here, giggles. Gotta admire that optimism, to be honest. That's kind of inspiring. There's just something about this show, even though you know the general theme, you don't always know what's going to be thrown at you. It's just so crazy at times and wildly unpredictable, and it's great. They familiarize you with these lovable characters and kind of make you feel the bond that they have for each other, and you just kind of want to be along on that journey with them. So these 3-minute episodes of relatively ordinary plot points are enjoyable. It's just entertaining to watch these two adorable creatures go through life's adventures together. It's simple, sweet, and cute, and I think that's the main draw of Molang. One of my favorite things about the show, though, is definitely its cutesy style. The designs for the bunnies and Pew Pew is so well done. Their designs are simplistic, but highlight the most lovable features about each animal. Molang and the other bunnies are round with short little arms, legs, and tails, which puts more emphasis on their rotund fluffiness. And they just look so soft. Honestly, they'd probably make good throw rugs, not gonna lie. Pew Pew has a small egg-like body shape with a little tuft on their head. They also have short little wings and stubby little feet. And again, just like with the bunnies, it highlights a chick's most lovable features, which are the small size, little wings, and fluffiness. And something that adds to both of their characters is the little blushes that they have. It makes them more cutesy. But they made Molang and Pew Pew simple and cute, but still identifiable. All the main characters / animals have a black outline around them. Since they're outlined, your eye is drawn to them more. So they stand out from the background and their colors don't blend in with the scenery. And speaking of the background, I love how everything is smooth and rounded off, which gives everything a more soothing feeling to it, if that makes sense. You don't have sharp edges or super bright colors that stab at your vision and kind of poke your eyes out. The trees are rounded, the buildings are rounded, everything is rounded, I'm rounded. The kids make fun of me because I'm round. Call me round. The color palette complements the scenery perfectly too. Everything is kind of a light or pastel color, and it's like silk on your eyes. But it's not just nice to look at, it also adds even more to the cutesy feel of the show, since pastel colors are associated with calmness and peace, which goes perfectly with the soft scenery and cute animal designs. I don't know, man. I've been overanalyzing a Korean children's show, but it's good. It's good. I don't know what to say. And even though it's Korean, they still make it understandable for American audiences by having little picture bubbles to show what the characters are saying. I really like that. Molang is definitely a show that I did not expect to enjoy as much as I did, and honestly, I probably enjoyed it more than I should. But I don't care, because I love the show. I love Molang. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I want to give you guys another thank you for 1,000 followers on TikTok. It means so much to me that so many people have seen my content and decided to drop a follow or a like or comment. And shout out to all the 454 subscribers that have decided to join me in my content making journey. And truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for your support. And I can't wait to see where this channel goes. And on that note, you can expect more Peak Cinema content soon. Okay, bye.